Coach, we've had some really tough battles with them. They're a big team and physical team as well. We're going to need to certainly be ready to play well, I think, if we're going to be able to beat them.
She heard you. The season doesn't really matter once you're in finals. It's finals basketball. It's more aggressive. It's going to be physical style Southside Flyers basketball, and because we're coming for that final spot. It's a dagger from deep from Maddie Rocci.
Townsville and Southside enter the finals fray as we head to Queensland for Game 1 of this WNBL semi-final series. Townsville finished top of the table, securing home court for their postseason run. They host the 4th place Flyers, who bring plenty of big game experience to the table. Our players checking in thanks to Minor Hotels, and this semi-final series is set to explode on Sunday Hoops. Thanks for your company, Joel Peterson, alongside Laurie Chiswick and Damon Lowry for this one. Game 1 in Townsville, 1st and 4th. It is Townsville and the Southside Melbourne Flyers. And Damon, this series should be a lot of fun.
Man, it seemed like it would never get here. Finally, the regular season out of the way. All that jockeying for position, everybody is where they is right now. And I am fired up, man. I'm not saying that as a Townsville pun. I'm also up and flying, too. So I can't wait. Let's get it on.
And, Laurie, these two teams across the course of the season have played each other pretty close.
There have been some massive games against these ones, and I just think Townsville go in for favourites for a couple of reasons. They're top of the ladder, best defensive team, home court. But you have to say Southside, when they get their things going, when they show up to play, Kayla George said it very well in an interview, locked-in Flyers are very dangerous, so anything can happen tonight.
Yeah, they've got a few answers for what Townsville can throw at them, that is for sure. We're going to get some more analysis from you two in a moment. Let's take a look at their head-to-head matchup across the course of the season, though. So 4 times they played. The first of them in round 3, it was a Southside Melbourne win. They were the first team to beat Townsville across the course of this season. Townsville then answered the leisure. 26 Southside turnovers in round 7. A really close one in Melbourne in round 13. Townsville had that at only 1 point in that last quarter before they won by 6. And then Townsville, in the most recent game, Southside led by 30 seconds and Townsville got a 3-point win. Let's dive a little bit deeper into it all. Damon's with Laurie at the wall.
Thanks very much, Joel. Well, Damon, I'm really looking forward to seeing Townsville, I think, play just the way they've played all season. They've done it so exceptionally well, where they focused on great spacing, great ball and player movement. So if we have a look at this first clip, as Abby Ellis is coming down the court, she sees her guards starting to move. Everybody's starting to get their defense active. We can see the guards on both sides, switch side. We can see the big switch and screen here, a rescreen. And now if we look and we just freeze here, you can see the spacing. So Alicia Frawling is rolling, Olsen is lifting, lots of space out there, and that's ball and player movement. Now if we keep going, the ball goes here to Olsen, inside to Frawling, and again movement. Anytime there's a post feed, there's movement. So Olsen goes, sets a screen on Rocci to get her teammate Ellis wide open, and that's exactly what happens here. Some indecision by the defense, a wide open shot, and we know Abby Ellis can nail those shots. Now if we have a quick look at this next clip, when Courtney Woods gets the ball and she puts it in on dribble penetration, we've got some great relocation. Horvat was inside, she relocated out. Olsen was inside, she went to the top of the key. Now there's just so many options. So again, good ball movement, passing it to Sowa. Sowa has 2 options, wide open in the corner at the top, chooses Horvat, and she nails it from the corner shot. That's, Damon, what I think will get Townsville across the line and against Southside.
Shannon Seabaum is spoiled with options, isn't he? There's so much firepower.
So much.
And we check out the Southside Flyers. Now, the biggest thing with the Southside Flyers is all predicated on Maddie Rocci. She's the straw that stirs the drink. But she's got to take care of the basketball. That's the one flaw in the game. We watch her right. If we pause it right here, right now, the Townsville Fire wouldn't let Maddie come off the ball screen. They iced it, kept it on one side. Bit of a trap. Maddie throws the ball right into Lucy Olsen's hands. Turnover, kind of an unforced error, if you will. I think Maddie can do a better job in those situations. If we play it from here, we can just see that just causes all kind of chaos on the offensive end. So now this next possession here, Maddie Rocci catches the ball, and right now, pause it. This young lady right here, Abby Ellis, Laurie, she's a pit bull.
I tell you what, I can hardly wait for that matchup between Ellis and Rachi, because what you see here is what you're going to see all game, going after each other.
Abby Ellis has a knack, a skill for making your life difficult. Takes the ball from Maddie Rachi. That's a turnover. But this is when Maddie Rachi is at her absolute best. She gets an offensive rebound. If we play from here, she keeps her head up. There are options. Everybody's on the move. We see Izzy Bourne cut to the basket. She kicks it out to a wide open Kayla George. Cash. Next possession, same kind of thing. Right now, Maddie has options. Do I go Izzy Bourne? But nobody's gone Kayla. She's already hot. 2 in a row. Cash. That is when Maddie Rachi is at her absolute best, and the Southside Flyers have a wonderful chance of winning if she can take care of the ball and get everybody involved.
That is A-grade analysis from both of you. Looking forward to seeing all of that unfold. Let's get some players' perspective and head into the Townsville camp. We caught up with Courtney Woods a little bit earlier.
Ariana Prather with Courtney Woods. Courtney, thank you so much for joining me pre-game, semifinal, game 1. It all comes down to this. What do you guys need to do to get this win at home?
Yeah, we're really excited. I feel like finals, you kind of feel like you're preparing for it for months, so it's really awesome to finally be here. And we put ourselves in a good position, obviously with the minor premiership, but definitely knowing Southside are going to come in absolutely guns blazing. So trying to be as prepared as we can, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
When you're playing against a team who's known for their presence inside the paint, how do you defend that? What are the keys for Southside specifically and inside?
Yeah, they got some big girls. Even in the 3 position, Hayley Peters is a big girl. So I feel like, especially for our little guards, like you've just got to fight it out best you can, and then just being able to rotate as much as you can, getting the littles out. But yeah, they're big offensively and defensively, a lot to handle. So yeah, hopefully kind of what we've prepared will be good to go.
Well, good luck tonight.
Well, we know the importance of Courtney Woods for the Townsville Fire and what she brings, but the other player that I think is going to be equally important in tonight's game is Abby Ellis. She has averaged 19 points per game in the last 3 wins against Southside, including that 25-point game in round 15 where she nailed that 3-point shot to send the game to get them the go-ahead points. And so she is going to have a really strong performance against none other than Maddie Rachi. So that'll be very interesting.
It'll be a real key to this game. Let's get the Southside side of things. Kayla George caught up with Ariana.
Ariana Prather here with Kayla George. Thank you for joining me pre-game. First and foremost, game 395. When you look back at such an amazing career that you have had, what first comes to mind?
I think the connections I've been able to create throughout, my time as a pro athlete, that's probably one of my favorite things is, the people you meet along the way.
How connected are you and your team going to have to be this afternoon to upset Townsville in the semifinal game 1?
Yeah, look, very connected. This is probably the toughest place to win in Australian basketball, in the WNBL especially. So this venue's tough, and they're a great team, minor premiers. So yeah, look, we're going to have to be very connected tonight. Absolutely on the money.
What do you believe is your team's biggest strength and what you guys will have to show up and show out and do?
Well, I'm not going to give you all the tricks, but look, I think that the team that can make the opposition more uncomfortable, I think will walk away with a win tonight.
Spoken like a true vet. Thank you.
Thank you.
A true vet in every sense of the word. Kayla's been there and done that, but this Izzy Bourne for Mines had 20 points average on against the Fire all season. She is the one that they cannot forget about. She's been averaging 17 and 5 all season, JP. She needs to get busy.
Yeah, she saved her best for the Townsville Fire. Let's get the final word from Ariana Prather, who's courtside. Ariana, Kayla George, she's going to play a big role in this one.
Man, she is going to be super critical if Southside want to try to pull off this huge win here in Townsville. But you heard it from her pregame. Focus and patience are going to be the 2 keys for her team tonight if they want to pull off this win. On the defensive end, they have to stay focused on their principles and do not let Townsville get hot from deep. And on the offensive end, Townsville is known for their defense and speeding up their opponents, causing turnovers. They're going to have to be patient and take care of the ball. But guys, it's an almost sellout crowd here, almost 4,000 people. It is loud. The cowbells are ringing, and I am so excited for this semifinal game 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a raucous atmosphere. Thank you, Ariana, as Kayla George told AP a little bit earlier, it's about the toughest place to win in Australian basketball. It will not come easy for either team. That same starting lineup for Townsville. No Nia Locke for Southside. So Tara Reid gets the start. And in her games against Townsville so far this season, she has not made a 3. She's shooting 33% and scoring fewer than 3 points a game. So she is going to need to step up in a big way. There is Courtney Woods, so is so much at the heart of what this Townsville team does. Josh Durand, Nathan Path, and Maddie Crowley-Long, our refereeing crew this evening. Game 1 of this first versus fourth semi-final series. We start in Townsville. The Fire and the Flyers. A little bit of gamesmanship from Kayla George as well to get us going. And it's Southside who start with the Rock, 11-12 through the regular season. Winners of their past 3 coming into the postseason. Townsville 19-4. They've won 7 in a row, and they force a turnover early as Peters gives it up. Milasoa in transition opens the scoring.
I'm surprised they double-teamed the post on the first position, Laurie. I didn't think they would trust Courtney Woods on one-on-one with Haley Peters, but they forced a turnover. And Milasoa does what she does best, score the ball.
Rochi into the mid-range. She's been efficient from two-point land against Townsville this season, and she's needed to be. Reed to George, corner catch, no good. Rebound will fall to Alex Fowler. Of course, playoff basketball just carries that different intensity and physicality as Alex Fowler stripes the long drive triple.
And that's a really good start for Alex Fowler. I feel like she's one of the players that has a high ceiling to play against Southside. She's got a long way that she can really come into some form.
She's averaged fewer than 6 points a game against Southside in their 4 matchups across the course of the campaign, so hasn't found her best against the Flyers. Peters misses on the layup. And this is what the Fire will try and do. Push the ball in transition, control the pace. Another open look for Soa. What a start this is for Townsville. 8-0 out of the gates. A minute and a half in, and the locals are jumping.
We checked the Amy replay, and this is exactly what the Flyers do not want to see. In transition, extra pass, Mila, cash from the corner. This is their brand of basketball, Laurie. They need to make sure the Flyers get back in defensive transition. It is high priority.
Well, that's just like a layup for other players. A wide open 3 in transition for Milasoa. You just got to take care of business and make sure you get a hand, get sure you're matching up.
Christy Harrower calling an early pay-wise timeout at 8-0, a minute and a half in. We spoke to both coaches pre-game about what they view as their greatest strengths coming into this one.
Yeah, I think our inside game, I think that's probably been one of our strengths. We're quite big in the, 5, 4 and 3 spots, so we can look to go inside, and they're probably expecting that. But, if we can play that inside-outside game and be patient in what we do, we're pretty good when we do that. When we turn it over too much, we're terrible. So we just got to make sure we take care of the basketball.
Yeah, we've been really good on that end of the floor this year, and I think we've improved a lot the last month. So, we've been able to be disruptive. We've forced a lot of turnovers and that sort of thing against Southside in the past, so hopefully we can do that again today.
So that's what the coach has told Ariana pre-game. Ariana, what did you hear at that first huddle at Southside?
Coach Harrower called that quick out. It's a great one indeed. Her team down 8-0, but the biggest message she told her team was, we're good. We are okay. It's still... We just have to get under control and get some things going offensively now. She then went over transition defense, and she said, guys, we're giving them everything they want. We know they light it up from deep. Get back on defense. Call out who you got. And
the experience of Christy Harrower shining through. Able to steady her team, be such a calming influence with all of her playoff experiences. Woods and Rochi get tangled up.
And that's another key to the game. There's lots of keys to the game. One of them, you cannot get into foul trouble. Maddie Rachi came over and helped. I didn't feel that help was needed. Courtney Woods really wasn't going anywhere. Could have been a wide open 3-ball had it not been a foul there. They need to have foul discipline.
3 for 3 from the field to start off here, Townsville. Could not have dreamt of a better opening sequence to this game. Bourne and Froling get tangled up, and that one will go back with the visitors.
Well, that was a really good defensive stop by Southside. The clock would have almost expired anyway, so they would feel good about that one.
Need a little bit more of that early in this contest. Reed skip pass to Bourne, who's been super efficient, as we highlighted pre-game, against Townsville this season. Hand on it from Fowler. Catch down low for Reed. Little lefty turnaround won't fall. And this Townsville defense is stifling early.
Oh, I like how they're coming across to double so aggressively.
Shannon Seabohm said they've
improved Get a hand up!
Throughout the course of the season. Milasoa doesn't miss too many of those. shooting 41% from downtown this campaign as Fowler and Rochi thump bodies.
So, Lori, Shannon Seabaumer said, we are not going to let you play in the post one-on-one against anyone.
Yeah.
So you are going to get double. So the Flyers have to have somebody cut into the basket to try to get layups instead of just maybe hanging around on the three-point line.
Well, they've got to make that decision quickly, too, because that double is coming very aggressively.
Bourne for three. Southside still can't score. And those Townsville guards in there on the rebound while their bigs leak out. Transition game from their bigs, such a feature for this Townsville team. Alice on the perimeter. Post catch for Fowler. 5 on the shot clock now for Abby Alice. Makes the drive. Froling for three. That's good as well. 11-0 burst to start for the Fire.
Well, you know things are going well for you when Alicia Froling can get a three-point shot. She's only 17% from the line so far this season, so things are going well at the office.
They are 3 of 4 from downtown in the early going, the Fire. That's a turnover there as Milasoa just couldn't handle the pass.
I would be 17% less than what Alicia is if I had to shoot with my opposite hand.
Yeah.
That is incredible. And you're right, Lord, not expected, but she will still take those shots if she's that wide open.
In playoff basketball, when you get the opportunity, you've got to make it count. 3 of 13 on the season, Alicia Froling from out there. Rochi down low. George can't finish it off. Townsville with another look. Froling runs the break and lays it home.
Now that is where she's at her best, Lori.
Yeah.
She's going to beat everybody down the floor. Kayla George, if she's her matchup, once that rebound is secure, Alicia is off like a gazelle.
This is a stunning start. And Southside just look a little bit shell-shocked at the moment.
Well, they do, and they just need to take a breath. They've had so many good, close games with Townsville, so they know they can match it. But I have to say, Townsville, to me, have come out with an extra degree of determination, relentlessness, focus, whatever you want to call it.
Since the moment, Peters turns it over. 2-on-1 fast break. Sower and Woods, they work it beautifully. And this Townsville machine is humming. 5 minutes in, they are up by 15. They are leaving Southside in their wake. Rochi with the circus shot. That's no good. Doesn't get the call. Back the other way. 3 single-figure margins between these two teams across the course of the campaign. And the Fire are taking this one wide early.
17-0.
Unbelievable start for Townsville.
I don't know what the record is to start a semifinal. 5.5 minutes in, yet to score. And I think that is Alex Fowler's. Is that her second foul?
She's been in foul trouble a couple of times in this matchup. Courtney Woods with the long 2. 7 of 8 from the field, Townsville. Haven't missed from inside the arc. They're 3 of 4 from outside the arc. Abby Ellis comes out. Tara Reid takes a seat as well. Hayley Andrews into the game for Southside, and they are looking for all kinds of answers at the moment.
Oh, my goodness. They just need to get some good execution. They just need to see that first basket go down.
Bourne underneath. No call there.
Oh, ball.
Mothering defense.
Oh.
Woods up ahead. Olsen can't connect with it.
Well, we continually talk about Townsville being the best defensive team in the competition, giving teams 71 points per game. But let's talk offense right now, because they have set this court alight.
That was so much their problem in that grand final series last year when they just could not score. Rochi and Olsen exchange blows. Izzy Bourne misses. Hayley Peters on the rebound. Turnaround will fall. And after 6 minutes and 7 seconds of this semi-final series, Southside's account is open.
Great job, Hayley Peters, getting on the offensive glass, getting an extra possession.
So they finally see an opening. And Alicia Froling wants to force the issue. That one was wide right. Hit one earlier in the game.
It's important that Southside now get the ball through hands, shift the defense, try and get some back-to-back scores to just put a bit of scoreboard pressure on.
Foul called there. Michael's not happy with that.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of wrist, a lot of forearm.
Now going on Lucy Olsen. There's Christy Harrower, who is just trying to navigate what she's seeing in these early stages. Been in no shortage of playoff battles over the course of her decorated career. 327 games as a player, a couple of championships. And now trying to do it on the sideline as a head coach, as her dad Bernie did so successfully. Fowler the catch. That won't fall. Rebound underneath for Horvat, such a key contributor off the bench. Woods now trying to break down the defense. And Horvat walks.
I like to see Chantel shoot that one. She doesn't back herself from three. Hasn't had a great percentage, but she's capable. But her instincts is to get on the rim. Such a great athlete. She's kind of an X factor for me, Lori. She's the one off the bench that can come off and play multiple positions and gives Shannon Seabaum a lot of options.
3 of 13 on the season from Chantel Horvat. We've seen her pass open those wide open looks a lot throughout the course of the season. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Laurie Chiswick, Ariana Prather with you. That's better ball movement from the Flyers. The Townsville local, Hayley Andrews, can't stick it home. Bourne got another look at it, hit the other side of the rim, and you can see she throws the head back in a little bit of frustration there.
Well, you can see that it is a clear intent from Townsville that anytime that ball gets passed into the key, there is a double straight away. Their arms are straight up. And Southside just need to weather that storm and find an adjustment to that.
Izzy Bourne with the foul shot. We highlighted her numbers pre-game. 20 and 6 against Townsville across the course of the season. 16.5 points and 5 rebounds a game against all teams. First postseason action in her young career. Of course, crossing from the Adelaide Lightning in the off-season. This new look Southside team for this campaign. Really only the one major change for Townsville of last year. And that's this woman who is giving them such a spark with a beautiful move going baseline.
What a move by Soa. But again, that action, we talked about it when we were up in the wall there, Damon, just their movement, their player movement is just exceptional.
And now the turnover for Hayley Peters.
Mila moves so well without the ball. Hayley Andrews did a good job of denying, but Mila is very cagey.
Isn't she?
Around the basket, knows how, just has a knack for scoring. And we are a minute and 56 seconds away from seeing a quarter where Kayla George has not attempted a shot. I got a fundamental problem with that.
I feel like you'd not be alone. They have not given up anything easy in this quarter. The Townsville Fire. Lowest scoring quarter we've seen in this season was against Townsville. Canberra had 5 points in the last quarter at Hoops Fest. As Froling lays that one home, makes it an 18-point lead. They continue to extend this advantage with a minute and a half left. Olsen is not giving Rochi room to breathe. Now Kayla George gets a look. Tried to flip it over her head. It won't fall. And she will go to the stripe.
Kayla George said, to hell with that. I'm going straight to the block. I'm going to make a quick move because I know this double team is coming.
Yeah.
I got Courtney Woods guarding me. They sent the triple team, but it was too late.
Biggest WNBL season of all time coming to an end. We are in the finals. It's where legacies are made. You can have it all in the palm of your hand by scanning that QR code and downloading the free WNBL stat, live stats, scores, highlights, exclusive player stories, video content, and much more. That is the best way to follow along with the action throughout this postseason. George splits them at the line. Townsville 21 to Southside 4. They scored the first 17 points of the game, the Fire. And Froling gets the call there. Kayla George turns around and looks at the referee in pure bemusement as she picks up her second personal.
It was a late whistle, but I feel it was a good whistle. Flyers going to a 2-3 zone, and often is the case when teams play zone, the middle of it is wide open. Alicia Froling went straight to that open area, made a good move, got herself to the foul line.
Cast your mind back to round 14. They met at round 13, the State Basketball Centre. Townsville got that margin out wide. They got it out to 18 points in that second half. Southside came all the way back to have it a one-point game late in the piece. So they've seen this kind of gap before. Different story entirely to try and do it in the first quarter and of a semi-final.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, I think at this stage you go with anything that might give you some hope. But yes, it is a completely different game, completely different pressure.
Yaboya into the game, of course. No Nia Lock for the Southside team, as we told you earlier, still dealing with that ankle complaint. 45 seconds to go in the opening term. Rochi making a beautiful move to the basket.
Good contortion. A determined Maddie Rochi to get on the rim.
Courtney Woods searching for an answer on the offensive end. Sower into a midi. That won't fall. Rebound, Kayla George, who's got 4 in the early going. Only the 1 point, yet to hit from the field. Rochi from the top of the key. A strange option with the time remaining. And Townsville will get the last look at it. 17-0, they had the lead. It took Southside over 6 minutes to score. Olsen to beat the buzzer. A little bit strong, gets another look. And we get to quarter time. Townsville with a dominant start. Southside's equal lowest scoring quarter of the season. It is Townsville 23, Southside 6. A stunning start to this postseason from the hosts. What a start to the postseason for the Townsville Fire. They were absolutely electric offensively, stifling defensively, hitting them from everywhere. They lead at quarter time by a wide margin. The lowest scoring quarter of the season for Southside. The lowest score Townsville's given up in an opening quarter this season, 21-6 at the end of one. And Southside on the back foot early in this semi-final series and looking for all kinds of answers. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Laurie Chiswick and Ariana Prather with you in this one. Alex Fowler gets a good look. The second quarter starts as the first ended. Ariana, what did you hear in the huddles at quarter time?
Guys, this is really what makes Townsville Fire so great. You wouldn't think that they have a 20-point lead over Southside if you were listening into their huddle. They are laser focused on what coach is saying to them. Every player is making direct eye contact. It's really them playing against themselves versus their opponent. They're not satisfied. They want to keep pushing the ball, keep pushing the tempo, and coach said box out and continue to rebound. Right now, they're winning that rebounding battle 14-7. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's been a domination to start. It continues here with Milasoa getting an easy lane to the basket.
There's no defensive resistance.
No.
None whatsoever, Lori. Fire getting whatever they want, whenever they want. Flyers have tried to go back into a zone. We check this replay here. Abby Ellis exploring the ball screen. Maddie Rachi gets sucked in for some reason. She had nowhere to go. Abby had the only outlet pass was Alex fouled in the corner.
Yeah.
And because Maddie Rachi sucked in too much, that's the price that you have to pay.
And that's the exact receiver spot you teach when you go a baseline penetration. The receiver in that corner there, that was really the only option. So Southside really have to start just thinking a little bit more, thinking through things out there.
So 26-6, a minute into this second term. A pay-wise timeout for Christy Harrower to talk it over with her team early in this quarter. They've got all kinds of answers to try and find. Townsville by 20. Minute into this second term, and that is some of Christy Harrower's most direct stuff.
Love her.
Yeah, I do too.
Love her. I wouldn't be fighting fire with fire. I'd be fighting it with some water. What's that stuff, JP, in the little the fire extinguisher? What's that stuff called?
No, I'm not a chemist. I can't help you there with the chemical composition of the foam in the extinguisher, but I'd say they need to go down to their local safety store and just get a supply of them at the moment and try and smother this. Blankets, whatever you can get. Christy Harrower now doesn't have a timeout remaining in this first half, so down by 20, and she is going to have to let her players do the work over this final 9 minutes.
But sometimes you need to just, they need to hear that, you know, right now they're not executing the game plan. Christy knows they can play better, and they just aren't at the moment.
Just to try and find Townsville by 20. It is all Townsville. That's an impassioned plea from Christy Harrower at this stage. Her team has come out listless. And this Townsville team is energised. They are inspired, they're invigorated, and they are absolutely taking care of their business. George with the skip pass. India Boya. Up now for Peters. Defers to George. Almost ran out of time. They are not getting anything easy.
They're not getting any offensive rebounds neither. I'd like to see Kayla post up maybe a little deeper so it's harder to double team. But they figure we're going to just take the balls out of your best player's hands and make someone else take the shots.
As Ariana pointed out, they're getting absolutely annihilated on the glass. 16 rebounds to 7 as Alicia Froling, the beneficiary of the beautiful feed.
Well, to me, that was a perfect example of why Milasoa is in the second WNBL team. The way that she is producing the numbers today, the way she is facilitating. We just saw that great pass.
2 of 20, Southside. They cannot buy one. That's going to stay in orange.
Substitution for your team, the Townsville Fire. Welcome back, number 30.
Mila is an international scorer. It doesn't matter where you put her on God's green earth, she's going to find a way to score points. It's just what she does.
Doesn't matter how many players are on the court.
Doesn't matter.
3 on 3, 1 on 1.
It don't matter.
2 on 4.
She does not discriminate.
Olsen, Soa, Ellis, Fowler, Froling, the lineup here for Townsville. Abby Ellis rises up and rises to the moment. Townsville lead by 25.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised with Ellis. She shoots the 3 ball at 52%. Why not let it go?
Quite literally makes more than she misses, which is quite extraordinary. Boya for 3. They need it. They won't get it. Another rebound for Townsville. 2 of 21 now, Southside. They have not scored in this quarter. Abby Ellis all the way through. Soa comes flying off the screen. Olsen, Ellis, 3-ball, another one!
Stop the fight!
It is an eruption!
And there's no timeouts that Christy Harrower could call, as you mentioned, Joel. They've already been used up. Oh, my goodness.
This is extraordinary basketball and an offensive foul. Just to compound the damage.
Look at a cross.
As we take a look at Abby Ellis on the Amy replay.
Fake the ball screen, crossed it over. This is just ball movement. Izzy Bourne caught in no man's land. There's a price to pay. Abby Ellis is feeling herself. Defensively, is this a defensive clinic? I've never seen this low of points in a quarter and a half almost.
This is quite something, a statement of intent from Townsville in the early part of this game. Fowler hits another one. They are blowing the doors off the Flyers.
They are shooting the 3-ball at 64%, 7 from 11 right now, Townsville. Unbelievable.
16 points to nothing in the quarter. Haley Andrews down low. Kayla George finally stops the rod. First points of the quarter for Southside. Let's go courtside. Ariana.
You guys, it is so loud right now in this venue. I can barely hear you guys. And the Townsville Fire are so fun to watch because even though they're up by 30 plus right now, every single time they score, the whole team is off the bench. They're standing up. They're cheering on their teammates on the floor. But I do have a question. What is the number that Southside has to get this lead down to if they want to stand a chance in the second half and just give themselves a little bit of hope, guys?
Good question. I'm thinking at 15.
Yeah, you know, in the second half, you say 10 going into that fourth quarter, but that's too big right now. I think if you aimed for 15, that would be a very good result.
And even though Christy Harrower blew the timeout, first quarter she caught a timeout after a minute and a half, second quarter after a minute. You need a player. Who's the leader now?
Yeah.
It's cool to be the leader when it ain't hot in the kitchen. It is piping hot in there right now. That's something that should have came from the team, I felt. As Kayla George on single coverage gets an easy layup.
Kitchen is literally on fire. And they are looking for something to put it out. Chloe Forster getting a little bit of early run in this one. So Shannon Seabom's just opening up that rotation a little bit. Mila Soa from inside can't hit. George with her 5th rebound of the game to go with 5 points. She's their leading scorer. She's the only one with more than 2. Townsville have only just, or Southside have only just got into double figures. The pass came too late. It's another Southside turnover.
Indy missed her. Indy had her right there.
Yeah.
Oh, swung the ball, and then it was too late, and then Izzy Bourne threw the bad pass.
It's been the story of this start for Southside Melbourne, hasn't it? The execution just has not been there.
This 2-3 zone, it is a problem.
Soa drops it off. Froling, no foul call. Horvat will shoot the 3. Why not? Everyone else is. Couldn't hit that one. And Maddie Rocci speeds up the floor in transition. Can't get the layup to fall.
Well, that's the sort of basket that they need, just to let that little pressure valve come off just a little bit. You know, get an easy basket, but at least she finds herself at the line now, Maddie Rocci.
Yep. At least it's like I just got pushed in the back.
Number 33 returning for the South.
Refs missed it. It's one thing to play a 2-3 zone, but you got to match up out of it. Right now, it looks like it's Kayla's guarding no one in the middle of the key, and they got shooters all over the court.
Peters pushes it home.
2 points, Haley Peters.
Her second bucket of the game. 4.5 left in this second term. It is all Townsville. What path have Southside got to forge their way back into this contest? Olsen into the paint. Turnover. Better defensive set there from the Flyers. George will uncork a 3. Horvat with the rebound. Haven't hit yet from outside Southside. They are 0 of 9. Olsen saw a window to the bucket. Brings it back out. They can reset. Courtney Woods from the mid-range. No good. George Bowyer, Andrews, Peters, Bourne out there for Southside. Horvat, Woods, Froling, Forster and Olsen for Townsville. Deep catch there for Bourne, had the seal. Foul called on Woods.
And that's the key. Get deeper catches. Inside the key if you can, closer to the rim. Further distance for the double team to have to come and get you.
Because when we sort of looked at it pre-game, I mean, this front court, Bourne and George, that's kind of their advantage over this Southside, the Townsville team. Like, they needed them to really come to play.
And that's the thing, they're not executing. Yes, they probably wouldn't anticipate getting double teamed on all post catches. But now, what's your plan B? Let's go inside if they double, but let's not settle for a 3-ball. Let's get someone cutting to the basket.
Shannon Seaborn calls the pay-wise timeout, so just to not allow Southside the chance to build too much momentum back into this contest.
Yeah, he'll just getting his team to refocus, just to go back to, you know, maybe doubling down again straight away. But the other thing with that double, Damon, is that if the ball goes inside and you know a double's coming, you can always kick it straight back out, repost up further inside the key. Now the double's going like a yo-yo. Should I go, should I not? So that might be an option that they can look at as well.
Southside team, it's been an up and down season for them. Christy Harrow has said it's been not an easy season for them to find consistency. We saw in the middle part of the year, this is a team that was 3-7 at one stage, and they had long periods where they really struggled to score and tick the board over, a little bit like what we've seen, but not quite to this extent, where they have been absolutely dominated here in this first half. 3:44 remaining in the second term. Let's go to Ariana. Ari, what did you hear at the huddle?
Guys, just that standard of excellence continues from Townsville Fire. Coach Shannon telling his team, hey, don't worry about the scoreboard. Get the rebound and let's keep the ball moving. Push the tempo, and on the offensive end in the half court, move the ball. Continue this ball movement that we saw during the first 2 quarters that have been so successful, and he's not going to be happy with that turnover, guys.
Nah, Chantel Horvat was playing team structured basketball, and it was 5-on-4. She just went straight to the basket. But you know what? The regular season, what does it count for? It's a sample size. This is who Townsville Fire have been all season. They've only lost 4 games. Southside Flyers coming to the semifinals with a losing record. This is kind of who they are, even though they're better than this. Don't get me wrong, they're way better than this. But I'm not that surprised that they find themselves behind.
Was that chasm all season between the top 3 and the rest. Reed takes it inside. Horvat, apoplectic after being called for the foul, throws the hands back.
Double comes. Haley Andrews cuts. They just created some openings. And then an offensive rebound. Tara Reid gets on the rim, gets herself available.
The WNBL Virgin Australia giving you the chance to win tickets to the WNBL Championship game on March the 1st. You can scan the QR code on screen to get involved. You'll get flights, accommodation, the ultimate finals experience, plus a WNBL27 season pass for the family and a signed official game ball. So much to like about that. As the free throws go begging as well for Southside. Jump into the WNBL app. Code word for it is championship. Claim your free cheeseburgers before 6 o'clock tomorrow. Things just get a little bit sweeter for the Townsville fans.
Yeah, when you get there, make sure you tell them Tara Reid sent you. Courtney Wood tees up a 3-ball.
First and last name when you get to the counter or the drive-through.
Transition.
Reid tosses it away, and it's the last touch by Southside. That is turnover number 6. Interestingly enough, Laurie, Townsville had 7 turnovers in this first half, so it hasn't necessarily been the problem it could have been for Southside.
Well, that's exactly right. And both teams will want to really take care of the basketball, make sure they're getting good shots every single time.
Alicia Froling ran into the wall named Kayla George.
You can't Euro step through a wall. Yep. Wide open 3-ball. Needed to go, Tara Reid.
First 3-ball of the season against Townsville for Tara Reid.
Well, it's timely. They certainly needed it.
And as you see on your screen, 1 of 11 before that from downtown. Now shooting 20% from the field, Southside. And that's just their 3rd assist of the game, the team that leads the competition in terms of their assists per game. They have not had the ball moving. They've got nothing easy so far in this one. And Christy Harrower ruminating upon it all along the sideline. George has 5 points, Peters has 4. For Townsville, just the usual. Froling, Soa, Fowler all have 9. That even spread, that balanced attack that is so hard to stop because of its multifaceted nature. Woods, Froling, Forster, Fowler, and Alice out there at the moment. Soa gets an open look. You can't give her that. She misses it wide right. George, Andrews, Reed, Peters, and Bourne out there at the moment for the Flyers. Little catch and shoot from Hayley Peters. Back-to-back buckets. And Shannon Seabones is going to talk it over again at another Paywise timeout. So they're forging their path back here, Southside, and they've got it back under 20.
There was no hesitation on penetration from Hayley. Catch and shoot. Hayley Peters, Hayley to Hayley.
Well, and that's not something we generally see from Hayley Peters. It's just that in rhythm, catch and shoot it on the break, the 3-point shot. So, you know, if that's what it takes for them to try and squelch this lead a little bit, bring it back, go for it.
12-0 run for Southside leading to this timeout. Maddie Rocci readying herself to come back in. She's had a difficult start to this game. 1 of 7 from the fields. Kayla George with 8 rebounds and 5 points is holding up her end of the bargain. They just haven't been able to get her too many easy looks, Damon.
And that's what they got to do. Like, sometimes what you were doing in the regular season, you got to, Shannon Seabones come out with a plan. Okay, you have not been punched in the face. What are you going to do? Well, you need your quick counter. And I already can see some deeper post catches. Kayla's making it a focal point to get down there. She's a good passer out of double teams. But you can't throw it into the post and then stand around and watch. Somebody's got to cut to the basket. Somebody got to get to an open space.
So that lead under 20 now for Southside. They've scored the last 12 in the game. Ariana, what was the message from Christy Harrower at the huddle?
Well, she's definitely getting a response out of her team, and she just wants them to work on spacing on the offensive end. She drew up a couple X and O's in an offensive play for them to run, but she feels like the spacing is just too clustered on the offensive side. So if they get that down, I think that they'll finish the quarter strong.
Soa's offline. Thanks, Ariana. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Laura Chiswick, and Ariana Prather with you for this first game of the semi-final series, Southside and Townsville. Perth getting game 1 against Bendigo yesterday. Turnover caused by Chloe Forster. The young West Aussie out there doing some good things for Shannon Seabones' team. He coaches his 150th game for Townsville today.
He's going to coach a whole lot more than that.
Indeed. Alice from deep, from really deep.
Something about Southside. Abby Ellis just loves to play. Maybe it's that incentive to play against Rocci, you know, a point guard that she's up against.
It's only a matter of time. The shooting dried up for the Fire. And the Flyers didn't really make a real dent, a big enough dent. And you got to figure the Townsville, they're going to keep playing the same way. They're going to take open shots. That 22-point lead is still, that's a charge.
Alicia Froling, so good at drawing those kind of calls. Just runs in the family to put your body on the line.
Frolings are like, they're like kangaroos and emus. They don't take backward steps.
Put them on a coat of arms. 22-point Townsville lead. They had it as wide as 31 earlier in this term. Alice making her move, getting baseline all the way underneath, whips it out to Fowler, 2 on the clock, needs a heave. That won't fall, it did hit the rim. Southside stopped for a second there. Hayley Peters still talking to the referees. 6 seconds shot to game clock. Abby Ellis all the way downhill. Froling throws it up at the rim, got fouled. Alicia Froling to go to the free throw line.
You have to give Townsville full credit for this margin that they have, 22 points, and they are still going after it hard. You know, it's about having your habits. They've done this all season. They've played this way, as you said, Damon, all season. And so now they're just fine-tuning and taking this, the way they play, just to another level. It doesn't matter who your opposition is, you play the same.
Shannon Seabum's praised Alicia Froling throughout the season, says she fits the way that we want to play. She's got 10 points, the leading scorer in the game in this one. Clock ticking away in this first half. Beautiful feed from Rochi to George. And a little bit of something to go into half-time for Southside in what has been a torturous opening term or opening half for the visitors. They have struggled to score. They let Townsville get away, but they chopped down a 31-point lead to trail by 21 at the half. Townsville 41-20. Let's get to Ariana, who's with Alex Fowler.
That's right, I'm with Alex Fowler. Alex, what an amazing start from your team. Just talk about how you guys were able to come out and dominate from the beginning.
Yeah, I think we were just playing confidence. We know we're a good team. We know how to play well together. I think we just got to figure out a way to ignore the scoreboard, because at the end of the day, Southside are a great team. They got vet players, and I think we got to play better than that in the second half, in the second quarter.
You guys definitely set a standard of excellence. What are going to be the keys in the second half to maintain this dominance and not let them come back in the game?
I think we got to get paint touches. I think we're settling for three-point shots. When we get inside and outside, we look so good. We look really great. We find open players, we find open shots. So getting back to that, and I think defensively, we were so aggressive at the start. I think we've kind of backed off a little bit, so we got to do that again.
Thank you so much, Alex. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
They've done a lot right in this first half, the Townsville Fire. They'll take plenty of heart into the halftime locker room. Abby Ellis lighting it up. Their stars have really come to play. A big task ahead for Southside. We'll break it all down on the other side of this. It is Townsville by 21 at the half.
That's just our style.
An explosive start from the Townsville Fire in this game one of the semi-final series. Christy Harrow with no shortage of work to do at half-time. Her team trailing by 21 points, 41-20 at the half. It is a big gap to make up. Here are our half-time match stats. Townsville shooting the ball just as we'd expect. The rebounds are there. And for Southside, Laurie, it's been a very difficult first half.
Well, it has, and I think you have to, first of all, give a credit to Townsville and the defense that they're playing, the smothering defense. When that ball goes inside, the way they are doubling so aggressively, and they know that that's something that Southside want to do, go there. So first of all, give them credit. But secondly, I just feel like Southside aren't really moving. They're not reading the game that well. They're not making good decisions as far as what is available to them, what isn't available to them. And you know, they've got some high IQ players out there, so that's what they need to do. But right now, the shooting of Townsville is exceptional.
And that is this Townsville Fire's strength. It's been their strength all season. You can just see how slow the Southside Flyers out to react, to get out to shooters. They're letting them play to their strengths. And that's what Christy Harrow was saying, that very fiery timeout, that they're dictating everything. You got to, especially when you go on the road, you need to come in there and set the tone early. And right now, they just let the game come to them. Well, guess what? This is what's happened. So now we look at the Blackmore's head-to-head chart between Alicia and Kayla George. And Kayla's worked herself back into the game a little bit, and Alicia's just being very consistent.
Yep, and so much work to do for both of them. Kayla George has had nothing easy. Took her a while to even get a shot attempt for a little while there, but the 8 rebounds, the 7 points for her. So they've got finals experience. They have big game experience, this Southside team. Comparatively to Townsville, they've got more of it. They have not delivered it here in this first half. Alex Fowler's been terrific all season long for the Townsville Fly. She has not had her best games against this Southside team. That has all changed in this first half, Damon. She has been absolutely fantastic.
Got off to a great start. She didn't pick up early foul trouble. That's one thing that kind of can thwart her game. Hits her first 3 ball. You already know what kind of defense you're going to get from Alex night in and night out. Good to see her being aggressive, taking her open shots. Kind of, I think the defense is letting her get some of those open shots. They could be a little bit more contested, but she's making them pay.
9 points in this first half for Alex Fowler, a couple of threes, which is a really good sign for her. There you see, all of her points have come from outside the arc thus far, and when she's shooting the 3 ball, that opens up so much for this Townsville offense, Laurie.
Well, it certainly does, and that's something that they'll have to talk about now at halftime is Alex Fowler shooting, because sometimes you go, well, we're going to leave her open but no, Alex Fowler now, you need to get out, you need to carry a hand to them. Otherwise, she'll just continue doing that the next half.
They are so dangerous, this Townsville team. They've got a big lead at half-time. Southside are on the comeback trail. What can they do about it in this second half? Stick around to find out.
Everybody know about it. Everybody hard.
24-point lead to the Townsville Fire at half-time. They've got all kinds of support here in Queensland today. This sold-out crowd has come up big for them, and they are loving what they're seeing so far. 43-19 to the home team. Let's get a little bit of a special guest interview, someone who played in some very big games and played very, very well in them. Susie Batkovic is with Ariana Prather.
That's right, I'm here with WNBL legend, Team USA, WNBA, you name it, she's done it. How are you enjoying this game so far?
Yeah, I love finals, and obviously the atmosphere in here is incredible. I think they have the best supporters. They show up every game, but the finals is extra special, so it's been pretty phenomenal first half.
This is absolutely an incredible environment to play in. The crowd is definitely the sixth man in this ball game, but how proud are you of the Townsville Fire and just the fight that they play with?
Yeah, I'm super proud, obviously. I love Townsville and love the team, and it's just been phenomenal. So, and you know, I know they're chasing the championship like everyone, but it's nice to see them come out in the front foot today.
Thank you for joining us at halftime, and enjoy the second half.
Yeah, thank you.
Joel?
Susie Batkovic with Ariana Prather. Thanks, Ariana. 29 postseason games for Susie across her career. Laurie, 18-9 she averaged. She was a proven postseason performer. Such a big part of this Townsville team for so long, as well as some terrific stops across the WNBL as Reed gets us started here drawing a call. Great to see her in the building.
Oh, she is just a legend of our competition, and you talk about an inside presence, and even though you knew she was going to go left every single time, it was so hard to stop her. And it's great to see her out there supporting the Fire. She's, you know, a massive fan, and you know, I think that they would really, the fact that she's there, the fact that there's legends in the game all over the place watching our final series is just so exciting.
It's great to see. Townsville had that lead out to 33. There's a score adjustment at half-time, so 24 points to break at half-time as Woods can't get that to go. Terrific defense from Kayla George. Hayley Peters, who hit what was called a 3 late in that second term, was downgraded to a 2 at half-time. That's why Southside went in with 19 points at the half. So for the Flyers fans playing along at home, looking for that little bit of an explanation. Rochi, little head fake, gets downhill, runs into a wall, got blocked by Woods and Froling.
There's a firewall.
Soa back the other way, lays it home, bonus to come. Mila Soa, so dangerous in transition.
And 2 seconds later, people are turning down shots. Kayla George had a 3-ball, didn't shoot it. Kicked it to Maddie, she didn't shoot it.
Oh, I thought Maddie should have shot it.
Exactly, but this is not the time for hesitation.
And that's where scoreboard pressure puts that hesitation into you. Should I shoot it? Should I pass it? Oh, I didn't make the last one. And they just can't afford that. They have to just play with reckless abandonment right now.
You got to leave it all out there at this stage of proceedings. They are 1 of 11 from downtown, this Southside team. Peters likes the look of this. Misses on that occasion. Maddie Rochi, 1 of 8 so far in this game.
This is a clinic.
A great shooting start. Terrific defense from Bourne, but Froling gets it back. The second attempt's a good one.
So smart by Alicia Frawley. The Flyers are slow in defensive transition. They kick it ahead. Alicia's going to go up and set a ball screen. By the time they defend that, that's an offensive foul. Maddie Rochi is showing some frustration. Courtney Woods.
Second foul on Rochi in the game.
Alicia's great at setting quick ball screens in transition, then getting on the rim. And that is potentially a little bit of mayonnaise, but I'm still calling the foul nonetheless.
29-point Townsville lead. Alice has been terrific. Soa from the corner. No good. Another offensive rebound to Townsville.
Alicia Froling has just been huge out there.
16-6 as Reed's call for the foul. Courtney Woods, the beneficiary of that call.
And you know what's good offense too, Laurie? And I know you know this. Flyers go into a zone. Shannon Seabaum still runs ball screens. He sets the ball screen. He gets you to overcommit to help, and then there's going to be a shoot on the weak side. JP, what can you tell us about these finals, man?
Well, they're here now, Damon. It all comes down to this. 4 teams, 1 trophy. You can, of course, don't miss a moment of this finals action to see if your team comes out on top. Tickets available to postseason games. You can jump on the WNBL website and follow it along. It's going to be so much fun. Of course, Game 2 in that Perth Bendigo series on Tuesday. Game 2 in this series on Wednesday, as Izzy Bourne lays that one home. Brings the margin back to 27.
Ball screen. Suck in some help.
Woods looking down low. Now gets an opportunity for the 3-ball. No good. Rebound to Peters.
Kayla's got Millie Gardner. She's got to get the ball. She's got to get it. Good pass, good seal, good recognition.
3 minutes played in this third term. Townsville led by 33. It was 39-6. They scored the first 17 points. The straight strip from Rochi goes the other way, lays it home. One to come.
Frustration foul. Great defense by Maddie Rochi.
Really good hands, really good active hands to strip that ball from Ellis.
And it's sometimes, and we've seen the Flyers blow leads before, Lori. And complacency, I'm not going to say they're complacent, but sometimes it's human nature to relax when you think, okay, we've done everything we're supposed to do, everything is great. Then you just relax and lose focus a little bit. Next thing you know, you find yourself in a game.
20-point break. Woods across the lane. Frolics hit a couple from out there. Didn't take it on that time. Bourne overcommitted on defense. Alice gets a wide open look. That won't fall. Rebound for Kayla George, number 9, to go with her 9 points. A couple of assists for Kayla as well in game 3, 9-5 as Hayley
I think there'll be a timeout. Oh, there you go. Timeout pretty quickly, because exactly what you said, Damon. All of a sudden, that intensity isn't there. That, you know, what they're trying to do the first half just isn't there.
So a little reset here for Shannon Seabohm at the pay-wise timeout. Townsville 48, Southside 30. Chance for the Townsville coach just to reset things. The 5-time Coach of the Year started his coaching journey back in 2014 with the Sydney Flames. And now he's leading this Townsville team, trying to get his second championship in this part of the world. And of course, trying to avenge last season's loss. So much that they did right throughout the course of last season, falling in 2 games to the Bendigo Spirit. Now trying to make their way right to the top of the mountain, and couldn't have asked for a better start to this postseason.
Absolutely, but Joel, I dug a little deep like you like to do with your stats, and over the course of when Shannon Seabohm took over the Fire in 2019, it's when Southside became Southside. They have played each other in finals 24 times. And the score is 12 games each.
Shows how even these 2 teams have been. So 48-30, Townsville on top, 6:23 remaining in this third quarter. Southside have put together a nice little stretch here to try and regain some ascendancy in this contest, one that they've been on the back foot in throughout. Ariana, what did you hear at the huddles at that timeout?
Yep, you guys saw Townsville call a quick timeout as soon as the game got under 20 points, and coach really just wants to go over some different offensive sets. He feels like they're getting too stagnant on the offensive end and not moving the ball and good looks like they did during that entire first half. As Kayla George knocks down a 3, you can just feel the energy shift in the venue right now. Townsville has to start getting back to the basics like they did in the first half.
Well, this zone has got way more active except for that possession, although Kayla saved the day.
Last line of defense. Izzy Bourne's up and running. It's a 13-point game.
Okay, Southside are back. They're taking inspiration from you, Joel, knowing that they could do that in that game at Parkville.
They are not going to come out of this zone until Fire prove that they can knock down some shots. Abby Ellis says, I can get into the mid-range.
That's what Abby Ellis does very well. It's a 14-0 run broken. They get 2 more here, Southside off the Ellis make. Izzy Bourne with a couple more. They were desperate for some kind of answer. They've been able to uncover it now. They've still got so much work to do to try and get back to parity in this game as Courtney Woods steps all the way through. Always in control.
Penetrating against the 2-3 zone to get a layup, and Kayla lets a deep one fly early in the shot clock.
12 points for Kayla George, leading the charge for Southside. Alicia Frolling's got 14 and 6. George with a double-double of 12 and 10. The fourth double-double against Townsville this season. Woods across the lane, hangs, can't hit. Bourne almost lost it out of play.
This is a tempo, Lord, that Flyers don't want to play at. I feel like this will fatigue. Oh, got Maddie for a hook. Maddie Rocci picks up her third foul. And calm yourself. Don't want a technical.
That's where someone's just got to come up to Maddie Rocci and just cool her down a little bit.
That angle right there probably didn't show the full picture, Laurie, but it was enough that Abby added a little bit extra to it.
52-37, Milasoa taking Kayla George baseline. Fowler with the offensive rebound and the putback.
Good follow-up by Fowler. That's the exact same move that we saw Sowa make earlier in the game. She finished it then, but a good follow-up by Fowler.
Been terrific today as Alex Fowler into double figures.
Now,
11 points and 4 rebounds.
Sorry, JP. I need to know where I'm going with the ball. Where's the mismatch? Okay, anytime Kayla gets the ball right there, I call that a mismatch as well. But Milasoa is guarding Haley Peters. And if Haley Peters wants to hang on the three-point line, now it's advantage Mila.
Yeah.
For that Soa Fowler, Alice Olsen for Townsville, George Rocci, Andrews, Peters and Bourne. Out there for Southside. Izzy Bourne tees up a 3. That's a big hit.
Well, we said they wanted to get it back to 15 at the half, and if they could, 10 at three-quarter time, and they're heading for that margin right now.
They have scored 21 points in the opening 7 minutes of this third quarter, more than they scored in the entire opening half as Horvath takes it inside on Kayla George. We take a look at Izzy Bourne on the Amy replay.
Just caught Alex Fowler just helping off. It's almost like an epidemic. It's over-helping business. Like where you're standing there for no real reason. One good swing pass to Izzy Bourne and she makes her pay. Now, Laura, we've seen teams struggle against zones.
Yeah.
Bendigo Spirit struggles against the zone.
Townsville struggled against the zone against Southside this season.
And they're struggling right now against the zone. I feel like zones are not respected enough, so teams don't often play it. They don't train against it for a long enough period of time.
That's the big thing. If you don't play it yourself, which Bendigo don't, Townsville don't, then you don't play against it. And so, yes, you should have some things that you want to run against a zone, but you haven't done it repetitively, so it doesn't feel as comfortable.
3 minutes to play in this third term. Joel Peterson, Laurie Chiswick, Damon Lowry and Ariana Prather with you. Game 1 of this semi-final series. Rocci lost it, got it back, off to Bourne, turnaround, a pretty move from Izzy Bourne, couldn't stick the finish. Kayla George flips it up at the hoop. That's going back with the hosts.
In this same, like you can see how intense and frustrated the Flyer girls are getting right now. And all that energy should have been there at the start of the game, not when you're down and you're playing catch-up. It's a lesson they can learn for game 2.
Townsville led 39-6 to start off that second quarter. 17 points to 34 since then. That's the magnitude of what they've had to fight back with as Abby Ellis hits a three-pointer from Mackay.
So she can shoot those shots. Maddie Rocci knows that she can shoot those shots. Get out and carry a hand.
That was an absolute bomb.
She's like, she won't pull from there. With the shot clock running down, what else is she gonna do?
When you're shooting 50% on the season, you can do what you want, frankly. Another red-hot shooting performance from Abby Ellis. She's got 14 points.
Okay.
Alex Fowler adds another one.
Don't you think that's contagious, that confidence, that three-point shooting, one gets it, another pass. It is contagious, that you know, that shooting, that prowess in the shooting.
14 for Froling, 14 for Alice, 14 for Fowler, 12 for Soa. This Townsville attack continues to dazzle. A pay-wise timeout from Christy Harrower and the Southside Melbourne Flyers. 10 of 22 from outside for the Fire.
And we saw that ball screen in that zone. They're going to ball screen on the wing. Abby turns the corner, gets into the middle of the key, opens up the weak side for shooters. And it's just catch and shoot for Alex Fowler.
Alex Fowler, 3 of 4 from out there. Abby Ellis is 4 of 5 from outside. Mila Soa is 1 of 5, but when the others are doing it, she hasn't necessarily been required to do it at quite the same rate. And right as Southside was starting to narrow that gap, Laurie, Townsville find the answer they needed.
Well, they figure out the zone. They know, you know, I like how you're saying, Damon, use the on-ball screens in the zone because it just is a different dynamic out there. And often you have plays that you can use against man-to-man or against a zone. And so those are the plays that you want to pull out if you're not sure of what you want to do or what they're running.
Shannon Seabaum, 2 weeks ago, had a birthday. He's not even 40 years old. I'm not going to put his age out there. He's 38. He's got 5 Coach of the Years already. Hasn't even hit the age of 40. His team just seems that they're going to challenge for a championship every single year.
Yep, admits it. He still looks like he's 12, but gee, he has done some great things in this competition already. 12-2 run here for Townsville. Izzy Bourne getting all the way through. Rolls that one home. Ariani, who were listening to Southside at that last timeout.
That's right, Coach Harrower used the whole time out to draw up plays and ways for them to get the ball inside to Kayla George. And guys, I don't have a live stat sheet in front of me, so I don't know how many shots she's taken, but not only is she second all time in games played, but let's just remind the viewers, she's top 10 in every major category of all time. First in rebounds, second in points, third in blocks, 7th in assists, 10 in steals, 5th in three-pointers made. We got to get her the ball, and she got to get some more shots.
Absolutely, Ariana. She's got 12 and 10 so far, 5 of 11 from the field. Kayla George is going to have to be a big piece if Southside can pull off a miracle here. Bourne with back-to-back buckets. Back to 18 points. Horvat banks that home to answer.
Good patience by the Flyers. Good ball movement. The ball is not sticking. Because as soon as it sticks, Laurie, Shannon would just call a timeout and just remind the girls of what they're doing that is hurting them. And then they come right out of timeouts 9 times out of 10 and execute.
Well, it's just popping through hands. So that means that defense can't have time to just adjust and get set for whatever the next action is.
Andrews, skip pass. Bourne's on the move. Soa almost ripped it away from her. Reed inside. Terrific defense from Olsen. Bourne. Clock almost expiring. Can't hit from out there. Rebound to Horvat. George Andrews, Reed, Peters and Bourne for Southside. Horvat, Soa, Fowler, Alice, Olsen, the 5 on the floor for Townsville. 20 seconds to go in this third term. Townsville by 20, trying to press home their advantage to go into three-quarter time. Alice has been red hot. Fowler the extra pass. Olsen can't finish it off. Horvat pulls it down. George blocks it. Time here for Peters and Southside. Fowler forces the turnover. Half-court heave, almost dropped.
Whoa.
That would have been something for the Fire. Hayley Peters is sore after all of that as well, after getting tangled up on that offensive possession for Southside. That might add injury to insult at three-quarter time. Townsville by 20, quarter to go in game 1 of this semi-final series, and the home team in an enviable position. Southside had it back at 13 points in that third term. Townsville stretched their legs to end that opening quarter. The locals absolutely delighted with what their team has provided in this first 3 quarters, 1 to play. It is Townsville up by 20 in game 1 of this semi-final series. 64-44, Townsville over the Southside Melbourne Flyers. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Laurie Chiswick and Ariana Prather with you with a quarter to play. Game 2 in Melbourne on Wednesday. Southside in a commanding position with 10 minutes of basketball remaining. Horvat runs into Kayla George. Third foul on George to start this term. She's got a double-double of 12 and 10. Froling, Alice Fowler all have 14 points for Townsville. Milisoa has 12, so it's been a balanced Southside attack. Izzy Bourne's got 14. Kayla George has 12. Laurie and Damon, they just have not had enough help.
Not at all. Maddie Rachi is not having one of her better games. As a matter of fact, having one of her worst games. Got the 5 points and the 3 assists, but just not having any real impact on the game.
2 of 9 from the field.
And just defensively as a unit, they're just giving up so much penetration. They forcing themselves into all these rotations, and the Fire just know how to spread you out and just attack.
Alice on the move. Gets another 2 to go. Game high 16 for Abby.
Case in point.
At 25 last time they met. You mentioned pre-game. She's been in terrific form, Laurie. She's continued that into this first game of the postseason.
This must be something about Southside that she enjoys playing. She enjoys the challenge of matching up against somebody like a Maddie Rachi.
She's a big game player. Remember, she had 17 in game 1 of that grand final series last year as well, Abby Alice. And Townsville really struggled to score. Olsen generates the other opportunity off the block. 8 on the shot clock. Alice fires away. Fowler will pull it down. Another look for the Fire and a new 14.
They just ball screening them into bad health. Now you got a one-on-one post.
Fowler on Bourne. Banks it home.
Okay, Alex. Turn around, Jay off the glass.
16 and 6 for Alex Fowler. She's really come to play today.
Well, it's hard to believe, but if we just look at this Amy replay to begin with, just the composure that Alex Fowler showed just on that turnaround jump shot. But it was hard to believe that at three-quarter time there, that Southside had actually outscored Townsville in that third quarter by 2 points. It didn't feel like that, but that's, you know, they won the third quarter.
Ball screen.
That is so much a part of their offense. They run a lot of that kind of action. Horvat from the wing, that's no good. Good box out from Izzy Bourne, not allowing Fowler access to the rebounds.
But it was wide open though, Joe. Even though she missed that shot, that's a wide open shot. And Christy Harrell gives her guard a hug. Is it the
She might need a hug at this stage, Maddie Rachi, the way things are going. I'm not sure that's necessarily what that was about.
I think it was a good demonstration to the referees about this is what is happening to Maddie Rachi.
Who was the last player you hugged, Lori? In game.
Yeah. Nothing really comes to mind right away.
Now on the play, Shannon Seabohm a bit perplexed with that one. We're always going to get a physical series between these two. It is what Christy Harrower absolutely prides her team on. Every press conference, one of the first things she mentioned, win or lose, either we brought the physicality or we didn't. It's just part of doing business when you come up against Southside. Rachi, George, Bourne, no good. Rebound Alice, the Fire away.
Fire away. I saw what you did there, Joe.
They can just get into their offense.
Ball screen.
Ellis.
Oh, no, look up. You got to pull that, Lucy.
Lucy Elson puts it on the floor. Underneath, Rolling finishes it off, and she joins Alison Fowler with 16 points in the game.
Abby Ellis looks like she's enjoying herself out there.
Why not? Of course, Bulleen Jr. from Melbourne's southeastern suburbs, so right in Southside's zone. She snuck out from underneath their grasp and really made a home for herself in Townsville. Played an off-season ball with the Diamond Valley Eagles. Tara Reid giving us a little bit of a demonstration on what she thought Lucy Olsen was doing. Nice little no-look from Abby Ellis. And you're duty-bound to put that shot up, aren't you?
Exactly.
Even if it's the worst shot in history, you've still got a jacket in that situation.
You know, you talk about Chrissy Harrow and what she talks about as far as what she wants from her team. She hasn't been there long enough and had the same personnel to be able to instill that so it becomes like a foundation piece, where Shannon Seabaum, as Abby gets into the mid-range once again, Shannon Seabaum is furniture now in Townsville. He has built this from the start, this structure. He's done it with Shada Hill. He did it with Steph Reed, Lauren Nicholson.
Sammy Whitcomb played for him.
It's proven, whoever you are, if you come to the Fire, if you come to Shannon Seabaum's system, this is what you're going to be a part of.
Yep, Christy Harrow's second season as coach, of course, and this is a really new look Southside team. So she took over last year, and they had a lot of roster turnover. Kayla George's first season with this team, Izzy Vaughan's first season with this team, Hayley Peters is like Hayley Andrews. There is a lot that's been new for this Southside team across the course of the season, and they have run into a team that knows exactly what they are about and what postseason basketball is about.
Well, and that's the beauty for Townsville about, you know, signing players early the way they did at the end of last year in the off season, and then they've just been together, and you can see the connectedness between them. They know where they are, they know where they should be, they know where they should be going, and you know, they're becoming like a destination club for players that want to improve and think that they can play well under the system. Not everybody would fit that system. Some play better under a Ryan Petrick system. But, you know, he's just really cemented himself in what he wants to do.
Abby Ellis doesn't get the continuation call there. Terrific defense from Bourne on that last offensive possession for Townsville. And Courtney Woods has been, well, by her lofty standards, relatively quiet today. 6 points, 3 of 10 from the field, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, but she hasn't been needed to be the one that's leading the charge.
It's the system. They got such good guard play. If it's not Courtney, then it's Abby. If it's not Abby, it's Lucy. If it's not Lucy, it's Mila. He's spoiled rotten in the backcourt with 4 guards who can all shoot the ball, and Shannon has a system. If you are a guard, you want to play for him. You're going to have ball screens more than you can shake a stick at. All you got to do is just make good reads.
For Shannon Seabaum in the offseason last season, they were able to shop for need. They had pretty much everything in the pantry. They just needed to go down to the supermarket and get 1 or 2 things. Mila Soa was a handy inclusion. Christy Harrow was going to get every single thing in the shop, pretty much. They needed all of it apart from Maddie Rocci, who they obviously had there. So the contrast in the way these two teams have been put together in the offseason, and it has been a clinical performance from Townsville in this first game as Alice and Andrews get tangled up. Andrews scoring her first points a couple of moments ago. Just a little bit of a chicken wing there between the two of them.
You know, you talk about Courtney Woods only having the 6 points and 6 rebounds, but to me, she doesn't matter what she puts on the stat line. She is so influential. To me, she has controlled the tempo of this game a lot. She's controlled the decision-making, when they call what, when they do what. You can see her sort of directing players in that. And she just creates good opportunities for her teammates.
They play through her so much, even if the ball isn't necessarily in her hands. She'll sort of set things up here. She is probably very close to the best decision maker in the half court that we have here in the league, just with her ability to see the floor and space the floor, and even her movement off the ball and the things that she does when she doesn't necessarily, you know, isn't at the center of the action. She just keeps that machine moving.
Yep.
And that is one of the reasons, too, why she won the Golden Hands Award at the recent awards and was named in the first All-Star team. That is what she brings to this Townsville Fire and the league.
And only played the 18 games, and I say only, so she's missed 5 games throughout the course of the season, but her contribution across the course of the year, even with the 5 missed games, was still enough to see her in that team.
She doesn't turn the ball over, and she gets 2 steals a game. That's going to win you Golden Hands.
Peters down low, nice little high-low action there for Maddie Potch, who pops that one home.
Okay, Laura, this game, you can be as optimistic as you want. This thing is over with. Let's talk about game 2. Adjustments for game 2. What does the Flyers need to do as Courtney Woods travels, speaking of not turning the ball over? But what does the Flyers need to do to make game 2 theirs.
Well, I think they need to sit down and really observe the way they came out at the start of the game. Now, were they flat? Did they just let Townsville, who were super relentless in what they did, but they have to match that or bring it more. They'll be in front of their home fans. It is absolutely do or die for them. So they're going to have, now you can talk about the adjustments of the X's and O's, but to me, it comes down to initially that energy, that heart, that determination. Where's that at? That's the Flyers that we need to see.
Laura's hitting the tape.
I'm ready to go for game 2. I don't know about you, Damon. I feel like Laurie just sort of read my mind then. It just seems like a mentality shift that is needed rather than a scheme shift for this Southside team.
Couldn't agree more.
They have got and you know, you've got a couple of days to go home. You get to sit together at the airport lounge and on the plane home and, you know, really think deeply about the approach to this game as Froling is fouled by Potch and exactly what you can change coming into your home venue on Wednesday night.
Well, it doesn't matter what Christy Harrower, you know, says, well, look how we defended this and look how, like, don't get me wrong, it matters. But it's about then taking that mindset and going, we can be better, we can do this. We've done this. We know how to defend the on-ball screen. And we've said it all year, what Flyers team is going to show up each game. And unfortunately, they didn't bring their A game today. And now they've got to look forward to game 2 and say, we have got to change our mindset.
It feels like even Townsville have got some room for improvement as Froling misses both. A lane violation on the second will give her another opportunity. So that from their scorching start, they're down to 36% from 3, 47% from the field. They've got 11 turnovers as well, Townsville. So it hasn't been a completely flawless performance from them at the offensive end. It's just that their defense has been absolutely jacked up to its maximum extent.
Well, when you're first in scoring, as Townsville is at 80, almost 85, and first in defense at 72, that's a pretty big effort to keep that, you know, going in a semi-final. But they well and truly are going to do that in this game.
And even adjusted for pace, so that the efficiency numbers for both of those, they're #1 in defensive efficiency and #1 in offensive efficiency. It's not particularly close on the offensive end as Horvat can't get that one to go, but was fouled. Southside in the bonus again with 4 minutes to go in this game.
And just to go back to, Joel, to the regular season, Southside Flyers 11-12. Now, they're the team that needs to get better in the postseason. Townsville Flyers don't need to do anything except maintain what they've been doing. The Flyers are the team that needs to find something extra, something they haven't shown on a regular basis throughout the season, and they don't have a lot of time to do that.
Game 2 of this series on Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, 6 o'clock in Queensland. It's game 2, Perth Bendigo on Tuesday night at Red Energy Arena.
Are we going to get 2 sweeps, Laurie? Or can we get some? I think it's going to go 3.
Well, you know, yesterday's game, Perth looked super dominant in what they brought to the table, and you know, Bendigo will be scratching their heads going back to the drawing board, just like Southside will be after this game.
One thing that we knew coming into this postseason was that home court was going to be critical, and Townsville's ability to win home court for the duration of the postseason, if they do advance to that grand final series, that could be a really decisive factor.
That's why you go flat out for 23 games to try to position yourself.
19-4, they finished winners of their past 7. As you mentioned a couple of times, Damon, 11-12 for the Southside Flyers to sneak into 4th. They were 8-5 in their final 13 games after starting 3-7. As Chloe Forster fights through the contact of Hayley Andrews, who's made a nice little cameo in this game. 23 minutes for Hayley Andrews, 4 points, 2 assists for the Townsville junior. Started her career here as a DP. Of course, went to Adelaide, crossed in the off-season. Getting some more opportunity now with no Nia Locke and no McKenna Marissa down the stretch of this Southside season.
Yeah, not having a second import. McKenna's got another overseas opportunity, but They're playing one import down, but I like what Shannon's doing. I said these are quality minutes right here for Chloe Foster. I see Sonia Crichton just checks into the game because this is the future building. They might not be required to do a lot of the heavy lifting or participate that much in a championship, but next season they will have this experience under their belt.
And you just never know. With the way this season's gone, you're only 1 or 2 injuries away, and then some of these players have got to come in and play a little bit more of a role potentially.
And the opportunity to play in front of your home crowd, you know, in a final situation is a real bonus. They train hard all year, so you know it's really good for not only their morale but team morale when that happens.
Nikki Young into the game as well now for the Southside Melbourne Flyers. So Christy Harrower emptying her bench here. Young, Boya, Andrews, Potch and Bourne out there. Izzy Bourne's got 14 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks in this game. Alicia Froling, the lone starter out there for Townsville with Horvat, Forster, Crichton and Olsen. Froling's got 17 and 8. 3 minutes left in game 1 of the semi-final series, and this Townsville intensity is unrelenting. Horvat down the lane, that won't fall.
I mean, don't forget, they had Lauren Cox once upon a time.
Yep, and Saffron Shields, one of the most promising Australian juniors, hasn't suited up for them at all. Chantel Horvat, of course, the injury replacement for her for this campaign. Boya makes her move. That's a pretty finish.
The more minutes, the more I see of Boya, the more I like. She's got that athleticism, seems to have some real good poise, can shoot a 3-ball, can obviously get into the key and finish.
Played a NBL 1 ball with the Melbourne Tigers last season as Olsen hits the mid-range shot. Just signed with Geelong United for the upcoming NBL 1 South season. Boya. Andrews thought about the 3. Into the corner. Boya with another hit.
Not a whole lot of opportunity in this Flyers backcourt for major minutes, but, you know, your time will come.
The door might be open coming off this performance, and India's going to do her best to kick it down and earn some more playing time. Crichton was fouled. Another who played her most recent NBL 1 South season with Geelong. Jessie Edwards, who came in as the injury replacement for Lauren Cox, now getting some run as well. So we were speaking pre-game, Damon, about how many players Shannon Seaborn would deploy tonight.
I'm glad you brought that up, Joel.
I had 8. I thought Chloe Forster was going to get some minutes. You had 7. We've gone all the way to the full 10.
I took the under. I went with 7. Expecting a much tighter contest. I didn't realize they was going to get the doors blown off.
We might be on the precipice of some Caitlin Van Ness minutes soon, and that'll really tune things up. Shannon Seaborn using all the weapons at his disposal in this one.
Well, what a luxury to be coaching your first semi-final game, Shannon, and be up by this much and not, you know, stressing. He can get his bench player in, he can relax, he can enjoy it. And, you know, start thinking ahead to game 2.
Wednesday night for game 2. Townsville trying to close out the series. Manny Potch goes rumbling down the lane, turns it over. Horvat working at the other end. That'll fall. Too crafty for Isabel Whiteman on that occasion. Here's Potch and Crichton getting tangled up.
Moved their feet well, got in great position. There you go. If you are in uniform, you are on the floor.
Caitlin Van Ness makes it 11 players used for this Townsville team. She has not seen a lot of court time throughout the course of the season. Just the 7 appearances before tonight. Jessie Edwards just the 4. Piper Anderson, their other DP, who's not suited up. You can see Lauren Cox on the bench as well. Still watching on after the knee procedure in the midpoint of the season. The reigning Defensive Player of the Year, of course, not out there, but they've had to retool this system and find a different way to work, and they've done that, this Townsville team. Great to see Lauren Cox still supporting them in their post-season journey.
Yeah, she has nothing but good things to say about the club and how they've supported her throughout this injury, and obviously the coaching staff and the medical staff. and it's good to see that she's still here.
Chantel Horvat was such a key replacement because of her versatility.
So good.
Because when Lauren Cox went out, I thought, okay, this significantly changes the look of the Fire, depending on what they replace her with. And Alex Fowler can guard the fives. We already know Alicia Frawley can do that, but now they got that extra depth.
Almost there for Caitlin Van Ness, who couldn't push that one home. Just the 3 points on the season for her. India Boyer steps that one back, can't hit. Final 30 seconds of game one in Townsville. And the hosts have dominated from start to finish, scored the first 17 points of the game, led by 33 in the second term. Caitlin Van Ness hits one for the road.
And look at the bench, look at her teammates cheering her on.
Bench absolutely delighted with that.
You hear Cotton Eye Joe if you're there for wait.
It's been great from start to finish for Townsville, and they walk all over the Flyers in game one. Townsville takes game one of the semi-finals in dominant, imperious fashion, 88-60. They stifled Southside and never gave them a chance. They will go to Melbourne on Wednesday to try and close it out in the shortest route possible. 17-0 out of the gate, Laurie. They led 39-6 to start the second term. It was relentless from Townsville.
Well, what an emphatic start to the game, and to stamp your authority on the game the way they did in that first, in the first 5 minutes of the whole game. Their intent was made complete to everybody.
Just two double-figure scorers for Southside. And we've spoken about it so much, that balanced attack from Townsville. 20 for Alice, 17 for Froling, 12 for Fowler, or 12 for Soa, 16 for Fowler. They just found all the answers when they needed it. Chantel Horvat with 8 and 7. They got so many contributions in different ways. They end up shooting 48% from the field. Southside with only 4 makes from deep. It was a performance of real substance from Townsville on their home floor. They win by 28. Ariana Prather is with Alex Fowler.
Alex, what an incredible win at home. A great way to start off this final series. How fun is it when you guys put yourself in a position to end the game that way, where everybody's able to get on the scoreboard tonight?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, especially coming around to finals. You get so many people out here to support us, and for us to put on a show like that, it's a lot of fun.
Talking about the support, how great was the sixth man today? I heard those cowbells ringing, and your fans stood by your guys' side from the start to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, you can barely hear yourself talk to teammates, so I mean, they're amazing, and it's great for us to be able to put on a show for them, and they do the same for us, so they support us the whole way.
What do you guys need to carry from today and make sure you take it to Melbourne when you guys play them again?
It's a whole new game. You know, Southside, again, they're a great team. They're going to go home, they're going to watch film, and they're going to fix things just like us. I think we need to go into that game 0-0 again, like it's a whole new game. They're going to come out firing, and they're probably going to hit more shots than they did tonight because they're a great team like that. And yeah, we just got to reset and see what we did well against them, but also we still got a lot to learn from it too.
Reset 0-0. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Alex Fowler there with Ariana. Thanks, Ariana. So 16 points for Fowler tonight. Active on the boards as always. Came out hitting threes. Was 4 or 5 from out there at one stage. And Damon just able to contribute with her athleticism and her presence in so many ways.
I got to go back to even in the Asia Cup when she played for the Opals, and she came out there and she showed the country what she's capable of, playing both ends of the floor. She never gets rushed. She never plays outside of her frame, only plays to her strengths. She can shoot the ball from perimeter, gonna give you some rock-solid defense. She's just a great teammate to have, a great connector for this team.
Well, she carried her momentum from the green and gold into her season here in the WNBL. Laurie, she'll be carrying her momentum from the WNBL back into a campaign with the green and gold.
Exactly. She was so efficient in that Asia Cup, and that's why she won the MVP of the tournament. But we just look at her numbers here. You know, I like what you said, Damon, in that she doesn't do anything out of her skill set. Like, she just is so efficient with what she does and what she brings. And, you know, if she continues to do that in game 2 and potentially further, that'll go a long way for Townsville.
Indeed it will. They win game 1 by 28. Abby Ellis had 20 points. She's alongside Ariana.
That's right, Abby, you were the leading scorer from tonight, and it seemed like every time your team was maybe getting a little bit low on energy, you knocked down a 3 and they shot right back up. How important was tonight's game 1 win?
Yeah, it's so important, especially having a good start, being the aggressor. We take pride in that. And it was on both ends of the floor defensively. We were scrambling, we were sprinting, helping each other out, and it was great that we got a team win.
How fun is it? I have to ask you the same question as Alex. How great was it to see some of your other teammates be able to get into the ball game for the first time, because you guys put yourself in such a great position?
Yeah, I mean, at training, we go at each other. It's just amazing to see them come on the court and get to score, get to have a run. They did amazing. They kept our lead. It was just so good to see everyone have fun.
Well, we talked about it off camera, but it's so hard to even hear yourself in this arena because it is so loud. How great were the fans tonight?
Oh my God, they're amazing. They're our 6th player on the court. We just love them to death, and hopefully we get to play in front of them again.
Thank you so much, Abby.
Thank you.
Joel.
Thank you, Ariana. And Abby Ellis, 20 points, loomed as a key. You mentioned her recent form pre-game, Laurie, and she delivered on that.
Well, she did. As I say, I don't know whether something she just likes playing against Southside, but she always seems to come up big. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and it's the timing of her shots. As I mentioned, just when things started maybe turning the tide towards Southside, she would come up with some really big shots, and she's very poised under pressure. She shoots the 3 ball at such a great percentage, 52%, so anytime she's open, she should shoot them. And that was from distance.
Cash. Michelle Tim's protege from Boleyn. She's so savvy. She's got that, what's the word I'm looking for, Joe? Help me out. Noose, is it nous? How do you pronounce it?
Nous.
Nous. She's got nous. She's got that kind of stuff with her. Got a little bit of stuff in her game. Look at her stats there. 20 on 7 of 10 shooting to 5 boards. But she's got that thing that's not on the stat sheet. She's got that attitude I like that she brings to the game.
Yep, her 3-point shooting percentage for the season went up today. 4 of 6 from outside, and when you're shooting 50%. There's Susie Bakovic talking it over with Christy Harrower. Of course, former Opals teammates. A lot of experience there. And Christy just consulting a good friend to try and find something that she can take forward.
Do you think they're talking about the game, or they're talking about the good old days when Christy used to get the ball into Susie and she would finish so strongly? But no, I mean, Christy will go back and you know, have to think of things, have to think of ways and means to get her team motivated is the biggest thing.
Yep, absolutely. They've got a big game 2 coming up on Wednesday back here in Melbourne. Southside go down to Townsville. The Fire take game 1 in dominant fashion, 88-60. We will wrap it all up on the other side of this. A semi-final statement from the Townsville Fire. 28-point winners in Game 1 of their best-of-3 series against the Southside Flyers. Scored the first 17 points of the game, led by 33 in the second quarter, and they did not let up at any stage. 88-60 the final score. Laurie Chiswick, Damon Lowry, there are our full-time match stats. It was a tough afternoon at the office for Southside, Laurie, and a very good one for Townsville.
Well, when you start and you start 17 points behind the game and you're playing catch-up basketball the whole time, and Townsville just were not letting them get back into the game at all. You shoot the ball at 20% from the three-point line, that's going to be a tough day.
4 of 20 in the end, and the 15 turnovers, they proved costly as well as we knew they were going to be. We take a look at our full match highlights, and particularly in this second half, Townsville got going early and Southside put some better patches of basketball together, Damon, but they had way too much ground to make up.
Yeah, they dug themselves way too big of a hole, and like you said earlier, Laurie, it was just their application, their attitude to start the game. This is a semi-final game, and they didn't come out with the required intensity and effort and passion. And the Townsville Fire just punched them in the mouth. Simple as that. Set themselves up for the game and then just maintained.
And of course, they go back to Melbourne for Game 2 on Wednesday. It's going to be a tough task to turn this around, though. And the first thing that's got to shift, as you said during the call, Laurie, is that mindset for Southside.
Well, if you don't shift that, then you're going to be back to you know, step one, put it that way. So they can do that. We know we've seen some really good signs of Southside throughout the season, and they just need to bring their A game. They can't afford to just come out and be flat at all, because it's do or die for them in front of their home court fans.
Yeah, A game, even their B game might be useful. They couldn't find either of those tonight. Someone who did, you need a tone setter in finals. Alicia Froling is a tone setter. She was immense today for Townsville. 17 and 8, all the physicality and the brute force that she could muster, Damon, and she really led the way for them.
You always know what you're going to get from Alicia Froling. Maximum effort, maximum physicality. Does she toe the line sometimes? Yep, but whatever. She does what it takes to win the game. She can play both ends of the floor. She runs the floor on the offensive end like a gazelle, and then defensively, she's a real pain in the ass. So she is a perfect, I think, player for this roster. Sets good screens, can finish, and then when she's shooting the three ball, that's just a gravy on top.
Yeah, when she hit that one early, you knew it was going to be a pretty good afternoon for Townsville. Only shooting 16% on the season, but just, you know, epitomises that intensity that they continue to play with.
Well, she has such a high work rate, and you know, the thing that I like about her, she always puts herself in the right position. She works hard to get position, to contain that, to maintain that position. And I just thought at both ends of the court, as you both have mentioned, she was exceptional.
Yeah, no one's attempted more free throws this season in the WNBL than Alicia Froling. She has another 6 attempts at the line today and made the most of them as well. Of course, as we've said, Game 2 in this series is on Wednesday. Tuesday night, we have Game 2 in Perth and Bendigo's series. They played yesterday, a 10-point win to the Lynx, 86-76. So Game 2 in Bendigo on Tuesday in that series. We return to Melbourne for Game 3 on Wednesday. Bendigo and Southside both trying to stay in these series, and Damon, they've got both a little bit to work on.
They do, and like, you talk about playoff basketball, it's different, but it's also kind of the same in how you've been playing all season. Townsville Fire, they just stayed true to themselves. That's who they are. Perth and Bendigo have been consistent all season. Now the ball is in Bendigo's home court to see what they can come out and do, if they can protect home court. They have the incentive of nobody wants to get swept. We want series to go to 3, so we'll see what they come out and do.
And both of those teams, Laurie Chiswick, have grand final, playoff, winning experience. Bendigo, the reigning champions. Southside have got Kayla George, Maddie Rocci. They've got titles galore. They've got people who've seen plenty of stuff in world basketball. So they both got plenty there to tap into.
Well, the leaders of both teams are really going to have to step up. They're going to have to talk to the young players, especially, say, Bendigo. A lot of players there, they have not had any playoff experience. So that leadership will have to come to the fore. And as we said, just a change in mindset. You've got to believe that you are still within a chance. And some of the games that both these teams, all these teams have played against each other have been close. So, you know, they can believe that they can get it done.
What would be the main thing if you were the Southside coach? I mean, what is the main thing you're telling your team? What's the main point of emphasis you're bringing to them during this week to just try and recalibrate whatever they bring into game 2?
Well, again, I think it's the mindset. Show them the tape, how they came out, how they started the game, and how that's got to be different. And then you look at tweaking things. You know, we saw that Townsville straight away when that ball went inside, they were doubling and making it really difficult to pass it out. So how are we going to counter that? What sort of things are we going to do there? So there'll be some tweaking. But again, and we've said it all season, what team is going to show up? And they need to bring their A team.
Yep, they absolutely need to show up in a bigger way than they did today. The Southside Melbourne Flyers, they got absolutely wiped off the floor by a very powerful Townsville Fire in game 1 of this semi-final series. 28 points, the final margin, 88-60. Game 2 in Melbourne on Wednesday. Tuesday night, game 2 of Perth and Bendigo in Bendigo as well. 20 more semi-final action coming up in this WNBL postseason. Townsville with a game 1 statement at home.